For another quarantine project on like day 26 of Michigan quarantine or something like that, I'm going to replace the radio, the head unit that's inside the Mitsubishi Lancer, because that headphone jack is completely trashed. I will pull it out and fix it in another video, but we're going to show this. This radio here is going inside that Mitsubishi Lancer, and it's hopefully going to work, and I paid nothing for it from the junkyard. Well, give or take nothing. I paid probably about $4 for it. I pay extra money if you're going to buy a used radio. I mean, it works the same, it fits the same. I don't know if it fits the same, I actually didn't put it in yet. I'm going to put this radio inside the Mitsubishi Lancer and hopefully it will work and I can get an aux port on the car again and it'll be great. Just to show you the problem, I'm going to turn the car on. I have
row 1, again 800 482.
Well, we have radio, of course, the aux. Have music playing, aux cord in. It doesn't work. I'm gonna turn the car off, set my keys aside. Next thing I'm gonna do, pop the head unit off and pull these 3 knobs off. Next, gonna pop the cover off. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, I'm going to remove the 2 screws that are right here. There they are. What I like to do is you can either pry up on and around here, or you can lightly see if you can jiggle it out. And in this case, you use a little bit of pulling and jiggling. You can get it right off. You have these 4 Phillips head screws around the radio. I'm going to remove those. Screws are out. Now we can pull the whole unit out. Right here you have the antenna wire, and you want to just pop that off and set it aside. The harness for the radio, the aftermarket radio, you want to pull up, pop that out, set it aside, and then you have the radio. I don't want to cut into the original harness. What we're going to do, we're just going to lightly pop it out of the connector, and I'm going to go inside, cut these solder joints, and reuse this because I don't want to cut into the car. Most people I see do it, but if they make a solution where you don't have to cut the vehicle's harness to get to it, I recommend taking that route. Because this is so much easier because it becomes just plug it in and go. Now with the old radio out of the car, we're going to compare the 2 radios. Both have knobs and buttons. They both have a CD player because I do like having a CD player. And both of them have removable faceplates. On the Kenwood deck, we have this metal bracket that you usually put inside of a plastic housing. I don't actually need this, so I'm going to save it for another car because I do plan on reusing the old unit. The head units are identical in size here. The only thing I actually have to change on this is the bracket placement. They have these little holes cut out on each side of the radio. I don't know about this one, but this one has little holes cut out, and I'm just going to transfer the metal bracket over. I'm going to take this bracket, loosen it up, save these screws for another car, transfer it over to this one, line it up to where the holes line up, use the included screws and hardware. There we go. I'm going to do the same for the other side. Now the bracket's installed. Set this unit aside. I went out and bought the correct connectors that match the ones that were on the original harness with the radio. For the old harness, I'm going to just cut it right before the solder joint. And I'm going to do this for every single one. And that allows me to still get the most out of this wire harness for that other radio. This, I'm going to order another one. Now that it's split from the other wire harness, I'm going to strip out every wire right like that. Twist it, give it a little fold. Put this quick connector on it, crimp it down. And there we go. I'm going to do that for the rest of them. In most cases, you really do want to solder them, or you want to use a crimp connector like this. And you have reassurance that it's not going to come apart on you. I'm going to continue with this. It's now just a matter of putting all the colors together. Just matching those colors up will make it much easier for me. For purple with black stripe, I'm just gonna connect you just like that. There we go. Take a zip tie or a cable tie. It's formal name. And just cable tie it all together. Same for this side. Ready to take it into the car, and for a temporary hold that should do, and it also gives me enough room so if I want to resolder any other thing to it or any other harness, I can resolder it. So let's go back out to the car and reinstall the radio. Back inside the car, we have the radio harness right here, and I'm just going to connect that back up to the car like that. Tuck that in the back here. Take the ground wire right here, and I just spiral it up a little bit and attach it to that screw. It's not attached good, but it's attached. To test it, now I'm going to plug in the wire harness into the radio. And there we go. And now I'm going to plug in the antenna wire into the radio. As you hear, we have power, so let's just tuck all this into the back for a moment. On the car. We have motion. Okay, search. Okay, let's check if the main thing that I want works. So the auxiliary. All right. So it sounds like we have all 4 speakers working. Now I'm just gonna push everything back in, make sure it clears the climate control knobs, and slide the radio into place. I'm gonna bring back the 4 screws. Oh, balls. We're gonna reinstall them. Now that the 4 screws are reinstalled, reinstall the plate, the front plate. And then we're going to verify that this fits. There we go. Slap that in there. I'm going to bring back these 2 screws that I took out for the climate control knobs. Put the climate control knobs back on the car. And the install is complete.